A pulsar is a rapidly spinning neutron star, which is the small, incredibly dense remnant of a much more massive star. A teaspoon of matter from a neutron star weighs as much as Mount Everest, and a neutron star is so compact that a ball about 15 miles across contains more matter than our Sun. Neutron stars spin between 7 and 40,000 times a minute and form with incredibly strong magnetic fields. Rapid spin and intense magnetic fields drive powerful beams of electromagnetic radiation, including gamma rays. As the pulsar rotates, these beams sweep the sky like a lighthouse. To a distant observer, the pulsar appears to blink on and off. Pulsars slow down as they age, but some of the oldest pulsars spin hundreds of times a second.
This is exactly what we're postulating is happening to our Sun at the moment. That's the neutron star. It's far more smaller than our Sun in scale and ratio, yet it's considerably more dense. Its gravitational pull, as well as its magnetic influence, is far more superior than our Sun's. Right? And at the moment, we understand, and what we've been postulating for a long, long time now, is that it's tearing the surface atmosphere, just like you see in this 3D rendition of our Sun, causing our Sun to wane and lose its energy. Once that happens, we understand what will ensue is the 3 days of darkness as narrated in Hadith by the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And I understand there's also a biblical narrative that exists which states pretty much the same. What my position is that this star will basically go up and over our Sun and down the solar system, taking with it the other gas giants that are orbiting this particular star. Now you can imagine if it can do this to our Sun, then there's no reason to believe why there wouldn't be other huge planets orbiting it. Because I mean, you need to have quite a considerable gravitational influence and magnetic influence in order to affect our Sun like that. And our Sun is huge in terms of mass. Yet, despite that, this is so minuscule and smaller in size. Yet, subhanallah, it's just the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created His makhluk, His creation, where this particular a star has far more substance than our Sun does. Yet, it shares a barycenter with it, which is a gravitational center, by the way, between the two densest objects within this trinary star system that we seem to be in, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.
These millisecond pulsars orbits a normal star.
By the way, when this star goes up and down, once the Sun's strength has been waned, and we are postulating that the 3 days of darkness will ensue, that I believe is going to be when the hadith about, the passage of the Quran where it stated the night comer, right? Because we won't see it come. It's just going to go up and over and catapult out. So it's literally going to be a very brief experience in relation to the scheme of things, where it's going to go up and over and shoot down at phenomenal speeds. When it does this, we're expecting that with itself, other celestial bodies will follow over our horizon and we'll see them. And this is where I pointed out the ayah in Surah Shu'ara, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of sending a sign, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so willed, which would humble mankind and stretch their necks out up to the heavens. I believe that will be what we will see is celestial bodies from this binary star system. And what also would follow is all these meteorites that would enter our surface atmosphere during that time, and the landslides, the 3 great landslides that have been spoken of as well. And then certainly there's no reason to believe why our poles won't shift and flip, causing the Arabian Peninsula to become greener simply because it will enjoy a different climate as a result. And during this time, if the Sun has waned, again, there's no reason to believe why the climate won't become extremely cold, where the leader of the faithful, the prince, the imam, will come and be revealed during this time, subhanallah. And we've been informed that if we have to, then we would uh, we've been given advice to crawl on our knees over mountains of snow. It's just very interesting that that should be mentioned while we're also scientifically expecting to enter a mini ice age because of our sun's energy being waned and the surface atmosphere being torn out by this interaction and exchange with this neutron star, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.
Over time, the impact of gas pulled from the normal star has spun the pulsar up to incredible speeds.
Now, this is the disk I was referring to, but I believe that there's also a black hole somewhere within the one that's arrived in our solar system, merged with our solar system. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. I may be wrong. What seems to be, what I seem to be very confident about, and this is going by um, data, visual references, and a lot of research. And then there's, of course, the dreams that the neutron star is certainly here, which was a very, very, very bright star with this blue halo around it. And we're seeing that in our horizon when the sun is setting, especially so when it seems to be orbiting around our sun and it's facing, when the Earth is facing this particular neutron star as it orbits around and our sun is orbiting around each other. They're both orbiting around each other, very much like the Cirrus Star A and Cirrus Star B, where they're basically in a number 8 formation orbiting around one another. And when that happens is whilst we're facing whichever star of the two, which is our own sun or this neutron star, then our horizon is washed with the light, the respective light coming from that particular star. Um, and we're seeing that, subhanAllah, quite often where it becomes bright white with this blue halo around it. That seems to be the light of this. It's literally lighting up the daylight. I mean, I don't know whether that analogy makes sense to you, but it's only when you'll see it that you'll be like, subhanAllah, okay, it's like the daylight is being lit up, right? So we're gonna, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best what it's going to do when there's nothing obstructing it and it's catapulting out of our solar system back down to the ecliptic where it came from. And during that time, what we will see in our horizon, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. But we've been told it's a nightcomer, so it's a visitor, right? And a visitor doesn't stay for long, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best what's being referred to. It merging with our solar system, is that what's being referred to, or its exit? I personally believe that it's the zenith and the pinnacle of the interaction of that particular star that's being referred to. And what I mean by that is actually its exit is being referred here as it goes down. This is what's said when the oath is taken of this star, and we're told as it goes down. So it seems like this is that particular window, that particular passage is where, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making ishara to, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pointing towards for maybe perhaps in the ummah to take note of, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.
May be the cause of their weaker magnetic fields. Despite this, these pulsars also emit gamma rays.
Jazakallah khairan wa ahsanul jaza for your time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.